Right, okay. So these are some of the stretches that I do after every one of my runs. Also after leg day, and then just these are just generally the stretches I like to do, just to kind of focus on rest and recovery, work on my mobility, flexibility. So whenever you do get time throughout the week, even if you're just at home and if you've got a spare 10, 15 minutes, this is what I want you to do. Also, this is great, obviously, if you're after you do your legs on leg day, just get a mat, get down, 10 minutes. That's all you need. So yeah, we're gonna start with a simple deep squat, followed with a hamstring stretch. So get your arms out in front, squat nice and deep, as deep as you can. Hold it for a good 5 seconds, and then literally just stretch your hamstrings, come out, try and touch your toes. Obviously, if you can't, then however far down you can, as long as you can feel a stretch in your hamstrings, that's all we're looking after. Back into a deep squat. Back into the hamstring stretch. So I'll do this anywhere from 5 to 10 times. So obviously, depending on how much time you have, do as much as you can. Okay, next thing, I'll go into just a nice quad stretch. So essentially, I'm literally just kind of sitting down. All the work is currently going to my quads. So you should feel a nice, good stretch in your quads. After that, we're going into a deep lunge. So I'm starting with my right foot. Try and push forward as much as you can. The deeper you go, the more of a stretch you're going to feel. And then slowly we're going to try and sit back and stretch the hamstrings. Obviously, if this is a bit hard for you, then even if you're like up here, that's absolutely fine. What we're trying to do is just stretch the hamstrings. But this is the goal. We're trying to get to this position where we can comfortably just sit back into a deep lunge. Hold it, feel the stretch, back into a hamstring stretch. And then, so I'll do that anywhere from 2 to 4 times, and then switch to the opposite leg. Again, nice deep stretch. Going into a hamstring stretch. Just try, come back and sit. Obviously, if this is hard for you, a raised position would be easier. Back into a deep lunge. And a stretch. So obviously, once you're in a lunge, try and hold it for at least 10 seconds. Same thing with a hamstring stretch, hold it for 10 seconds. Okay, next, we're going into a pigeon hold. So start with the right leg, bring it forward, twist it. So what we're trying to do is, our leg is trying to be, it's 90 degrees, so straight. And then the back leg, we're just trying to keep it straight. And we're square, we're facing straight ahead. Keep your arms in front. And then just hold it there. You should feel a nice stretch here in your hips, in the side of your legs, in your glutes. Hold it here for a good 20, 30 seconds. And then switch to your other leg. The aim is to try and go as far as you can, like try and tilt your head forward. Obviously, if this is hard, just keep it here. As long as you feel that stretch in your legs and your glutes, that's absolutely fine. Again, hold it for a good 20, 30 seconds. Back into a nice little back stretch. Right, okay. Now this is called the world's greatest stretch. Essentially, this stretch just uses a lot of your muscles, and that's essentially why it's called the world's greatest stretch. But right leg first, right hand forward, and then all we're going to do is using the left hand, slide it through your right leg, come up, twist, in through your right leg, twist. Nice and slow. So do this 10 times. Switch, left leg, left hand, and then we're going to just use the right hand to come in, out and stretch. Come in, out and stretch. Right. Next, we're going to work on our hip flexors. Now, majority of people don't actually work on the hip flexors, and that's why, well, to be honest, most people have weak hip flexors. This can lead to a lot of hip pain, a lot of lower back pain. So this is a very important area to actually strengthen and improve on. So first exercise, we're going to work on our right hips. So right leg straight ahead, foot straight forward, left leg in, hold on to your left leg. Now with the right leg, all we're going to do, lift up, and then keeping the legs straight, we're just going to come to the side. Now come as far to the right as you can, and then stop. Lift up, slowly come back to the center and drop. Now the aim is to try and work as far as you can without having to wiggle about. Because if you're moving your whole body, then it's not just your hip flexors that's working. So do it very slowly. Take your time with this. Is a very hard exercise to do. So take your time with it. Lift up. Slowly bring it to the side. You should be able to feel a nice stretch and pain in your hip flexors. So try and do this anywhere from like 5 to 10 times. So I like to do 2-3 sets of this exercise in particular, because like I said, hip flexors are a weak area for everyone, and I like to train this as much as I can. Again, with the left leg, nice and controlled. Now after I do this, like I said, 5 to 10 on each leg. That's one set. Do 2 to 3 sets of that. Again, this is another exercise for hip flexors. Legs straight forward. We're going to put our hands to the side, slightly lean forward, and then literally just lift one leg at a time. Lift, drop. Lift, drop. This is also a very hard exercise. It's going to work your hip flexors, your outer hip flexors, your quads, nice and slow. So do 10 each leg, so 20 in total. Then we can go into a nice release. This just kind of opens everything up, opens your hip flexors. Do this for a good 20-30 seconds. Now, what I like to end with is just a side lunge, legs out, and then we're just going to lean as much as we can to one side. Now, obviously, if this is hard for you, then just lean as much as you can. The aim is to try and get to here, but depending on your flexibility, just try and do as much as you can. Even if you have to like hold onto the floor to balance yourself, that's absolutely fine. So hold and then try and balance as much as you can. The idea is we need to work up to be able to do this comfortably and feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings. Do this 3 to 5 times per leg.